Good afternoon. This is Brother T from the Led by the Lord channel, coming to you this afternoon with a message about using sound judgment. Using sound judgment. In the world we live in today, we can't believe everything that we hear, every accusal, every accusation that's made against people or situations, changing or spinning of a story to fit one's narrative. And that's a term that's used today, spinning, spinning the story to fit your narrative, spinning it. Character assassination to destroy someone's career. And we see that so much these days, how people dig into one's past to try to discredit them. Now, when we were children, we used the term little white lies or fibs. So when we told an untruth, we would say, oh, that was just a little white lie. Or I just told a fib. Now, as children, we would counter that. When someone would say, we told a little white lie or a fib, they would tell a fib on us or go and make an accusation on us or that wasn't true. We would counter that with sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So that's how we would say, no matter what you make up in whatever story you make up about me that's untrue, I'll just say sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Now, we didn't really want anybody to beat us or hit us with sticks and stones. That was just a saying. Use sound judgment when listening or taking advice, even if it's in the church. Even if it's in the church. Go and read it for yourself. Go and read it for yourself. And then know that what was said, whether it was the gospel or not. So now let's go to the word. Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 through 5. Do not judge, or you will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye. This goes to show us that some people don't see their own faults. They only see the faults in others. And sometimes if there are no faults in others, they create faults. They create character assassinations to hurt that person. It reminds me of politicians these days. Not all, but some that run on finding faults in the past on their opponents that have nothing to do with the election, the current day election that they're in. Again, finding or fabricating fault. And I believe there are a lot of good people out there nowadays that would be able to hold an office and hold it diligently. But they're afraid to come forward because they realize that if I run in an election today, people are going to try to go into my past and find something that I've done to discredit me. And sometimes it could have been something as trivial as taking a piece of candy from the candy store when you were a young child. People will go back and try to dig into your past just to find something to discredit you. I think sometimes we feel elevated when we lower someone else. Romans 14:12 to 13. So then each of us will give an account of himself to God. Therefore, let us not pass judgment on one another any longer, but rather decide never to put a stumbling block or hindrance in the way of a brother or sister. So today, let us not pass judgment, and especially false accusations and judgment on our brothers and sisters. And when we listen to those things, it reminds me, and when I listen to these things, it reminds me of what a 90-year-old gentleman once used to say to me. This was a term he used quite a bit. And he would say, "Don't you be fooled. Don't you be fooled." So again, I say, don't believe everything you hear until you do your homework and search out the truth. And this is Brother T from the Led by the Lord channel, just asking you to just use sound judgment in whatever you do. Don't just take whatever you hear without first searching to find out if what you heard is really the truth. Because so many times we carry stories that originated and they weren't true. And that story can wind up hurting someone. It could wind up having someone lose their job, lose their position, a politician be taken out of that position because of what was said. So we need to know when someone is telling a truth or an untruth. We need to check it out before we carry everything we hear. So this is Brother T again from the Led by the Lord channel, asking you again to pray for me, and I will pray for you, and you have a blessed day.